this is Bonnie from Backward Story, and I can count on one hand how many books I've read during the month of May. This is actually pretty disappointing for me because there were 20-something books I wanted to read, and I read 20-something books in April, and I thought that I could do it, but I just didn't expect everything that happened in May to happen, and a lot of stuff went on in my life, in my family's life. I had very little headspace. To read and concentrate on things from another world, and I was so busy concentrating on the other things I needed to remember and memorize, and there was so much going on. And then it was BEA, it was the book expo, and I was prepping for that, and I just didn't have a lot of space to read anything at all this month. So I read these. I started a 5th book that I didn't finish, and that is pretty much all that I did this month. Actually, started a 2nd book I didn't finish at BEA too, but this is all that I did for the entire month, and it was all within like the first week of May, and then the rest of May was just a wash, and I didn't read anything. So let's take a really fast look at everything I read. I'm pretty sure I did little videos on Instagram for a couple of these, but I don't remember. It's been a month, so we're just going to do them all again now because why not? There's not that many of them. The first thing I read was When Dimple Met Rishi, and its cover is somewhere. I didn't see it looking really fast. I just wanted to do the video now and finish it up. This is what the cover looks like. I wanted to reread this so that I could read the new book from Twinkle with Love, and of course I did not read the new book, but I did read the first one a second time, and I still really, really enjoyed it, and it's definitely a great summer book. I'm doing a whole week of summer-ish books at the end of June, so look forward to that because I'll be talking more about this again then. A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I reread or reread all 3 books in the original trilogy in April, getting ready for this book. I pre-ordered the exclusive edition from Books A Million, which if you go backwards on my video feed, I do have a design video that shows you more about this book. And I did finish it. I do like the back best. It's my favorite of all of the images. I did finish this. I think that it's definitely not my favorite in the series. There's not a lot happening, but I do like that it takes place at Christmas time, and I do like seeing the characters again. Some of the characters aren't completely in character this time around, so that made me a little disappointed. I wish a little more was happening, but it also was like a nice breather between wars, because you know stuff is going to go down in the next 2 books. So it was a nice little break, but it wasn't quite everything I expected it to be and more, so it was okay. It's not my favorite in the series, but it was okay. So I definitely have heard mixed reviews about this one, and it's just people love it, people hate it, they think it's okay. Whatever side you fall on, it's definitely an interesting part to the series, and it's a nice bridge between the two. Ruin by Amy Tintera. I love this series so much. I read the first book when it came out a couple of years ago, and the cliffhanger was insanity, and I could not wait to get my hands on the 2nd book, and then I didn't have time to read it, and then half a year went by, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till all 3 are out. I'm going to read them all together. And then I reread the first one so that I could read 2 and 3 together, and stuff went down. I'm on like page 2, I think, of the 2nd book. So I do hope to finish reading the series this month because I need to know what happens. This is so good. And hopefully I will be telling you about the next 2 books in the next wrap-up video. And the last book I read all the way this month was The Mermaid Handbook, an alluring treasury of literature, lore, art, recipes, and projects by Carolyn Turgeon. And I guess I can't say read all the way because I did skim parts. I didn't read, every single recipe and stuff. But there's so much information in here and so much that I did read. I'm not going to go too in-depth in it because I did do a whole video review that goes over this book very much in depth. I will link to it below and at the end of the video. If you love mermaids, you absolutely have to pick this one up. I did start reading The Bird and the Blade by Megan Bannon, I believe is the author's name, and I only got up to the 2nd riddle before I had to put it down because I was leaving for the book expo, and I think that it came out this week, so I do think that it expired, and I won't be able to pick it up again, so I'll have to get it out from the library to finish it up, so I don't know when that will be, but I did start reading that, and I also started reading, I believe it's called The Me I Meant to Be by Sophie Jordan. It's her new book coming out. It's contemporary romance. I got 8 chapters in. It's really, 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 really good so far. I kind of borrowed it from my friend when she wanted to take a nap. The first night we were in New York before BEA started, she had gotten it at the Blogbound conference, and it was a book that I had been curious about because I really like Sophie Jordan's Reign of Shadows series, which came out the same year as Ruin by Amy Tatera. They were like my 2 surprise books of the year that I picked up and fell in love with. So I hadn't been a huge fan of her book Firelight so much, but I really liked that and the romance in it. And so far, the romance in the new book is really good too. So I definitely want to get my hands on it and finish it. So those are the 2 books I started. And these are the 4 books that I read. And that is everything that I got to during the month of May. I'm hoping that June will be much fuller and that I'll have a lot more to talk about next month when I do my video wrap up then. That is everything from me today. I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye!